Call the City of Westfield Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order for August 23rd, 2017. Staff, please note the presence of a quorum.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Action item number 1, approval of minutes from the meeting of July 26, 2017. Having had opportunity to review those, are there any additions, corrections, or comments?
I have none. I would move to approve.
I will second that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'm assuming this didn't change because I printed it.
It didn't.
Okay, good. Action item number 2, Union Street Flats, release and termination of easements.
This is a situation that came up on the other end. After we sold the utilities, they were supposed to get all the easements as well, citizens. Now, this location needs the easements released. They came to us. Well, we have to give them to citizens before citizens can give them to them. And that's all we're doing.
Okay,
Cleaning up transactions, unneeded easements.
all right.
So why do we terminate an easement?
This is the way they wanted to do it. I wanted to just quit claim it to whoever wanted it, or quit claim them to both, just to get us out of the mix, but this is the method they'd like to do.
Okay, so you're okay with it legally?
I guess.
Obviously, you're okay legally, Brian?
Yes.
Okay, I would move to accept.
I will second. On action item number 2, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 3, amended road impact fee agreement, Liberty Ridge.
So we ran this through a couple months ago. Liberty Ridge is a subdivision out on the west side of town, just east of Town Road on the south side of 151st. Let me pull up the flow sheet real quick. So, tabs open. Just to give you some perspective, Harmony is to its east. Alright. So, when we originally ran it through, the development agreement was for this portion of roadway reconstruction, which you all approved. Their timing is going faster than Harmony's timing. So they also reconstructed or are willing to reconstruct this portion, so it's just amending that portion into this development agreement, which is already agreed upon in the Harmony development agreement, so we'll just pull it from that one. Same, it'll be.
So Liberty's gonna pay for it?
Yeah, Liberty's we're gonna pay for it, Westfield's gonna pay for it, but Liberty's gonna construct it with that.
We already have an agreement in place for Harmony to build that small section. They're gonna be years after, so we would have a chunk of the road that wasn't reconstructed. So Liberty Ridge or Cal Atlantic has agreed to build that piece in exchange for road impact fee credits, and then we will then reduce the credit associated with what.
That's
Harmony's
what I was
doing.
wondering, okay,
Yep.
good.
So Cal Atlantic's gonna handle it instead of Esters.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So that will reconstruct from the new end on the east all the way to
Town
town?
Road.
Yeah.
And then it's a beautiful road
It's beautiful.
west of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's best in Westfield.
It's the worst pavement in the whole city, Dust.
Gravel or pavement?
I don't know what it is.
Already sounding bad.
It's gonna get a chip and seal application soon, that'll help.
Okay. I move to accept the Liberty.
Okay. Motion's been made to accept action item number 3, Liberty Ridge. I will second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is consent agenda. Entertain a motion on that.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
I will second that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to Westfield Police Department vehicle disposals and trades.
That is
Part of-
consent.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that was on
Yeah.
consent.
That's right on.
You're right, it was.
Yeah.
You,
We
you're,
can talk about it if you want.
you're good
Chief
to go.
is coming up real
Blank.
fine.
I read over that, and
No get back.
the only thing I noticed was that one of the Mustangs was going away, so.
Yeah, no one's driving it. We don't have a new personnel for that vehicle, going different directions, so it's just time to trade it in for something else.
Everything else looked like it had a lot of miles on it, was ready to go.
Yeah, and this is over the course, we're doing something different with the new vehicles, bonding it over an extended amount of time. So these vehicles will stay in the fleet for up to another year, some of them, before we get rid of them. Kind of spreading out the purchases of the new ones because the bonding is spread out, if that makes sense. Instead of buying them all right now and having them sit.
Yeah, do. All right, on to department reports. Chief Reed?
Well, we just, there's not, it was a fairly active month, actually. Nearly 300 calls for the group, so, that, everything, there's nothing really to, there's no big highlights there. We can move on down to that's my ship station, the location right there. That's probably the one you wanna look at, just kind of take a look at the breakdown, which is, typical in terms of what we go to. Again, vast majority of our calls medical, so running about 64, runs anywhere from 64 to 70%, depending on the month. And then the good intent calls. Those are all things that as we begin to continue to look at our data, we're actually working on within the county of developing basically priority, it's called priority dispatch. So right now, basically we run hot on just about everything, right? So they dispatch it and we're out lights and sirens all away. Now what we try to do is give company officer discretion that based on the information they have from the dispatch and then on their MDC, you can shut it down and go slower. And we're in the process of finishing up our alarm study that we're doing, and we're probably going to end up reducing what we send on alarms, and a lot of this stuff, the good intent calls right now while they're code 3 are probably going to be code 1 calls, and down the road we'll try to figure out if there's another way to send stuff as opposed to sending a fire engine.
Like,
And really the only other thing I'd say is that I passed these out. I got one for you, Mr. Merrick. We're doing this the last quarter of this year
Oh, yeah, we got one here.
within our department. I think it's, especially for city employees, it's hard for people to do their job if they're worried about their families and whether their families are okay and whether they've got all the stuff that they need to have and so on and so forth. So this is part of a longer term project of making sure that all of the people in the city have 70, emergency kits, 72-hour kits, ways to make sure that people get, you get contacted so your family's all right. It's hard for people to do their work when they're here, when disaster happens and not knowing that their family's okay. So we need to begin to set up some of those kinds of things to make sure that our folks who are here at work are really here at work. That's all I have, other than it's really nice and it's not humid here, I have to say.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Just gonna say.
Okay.
Cannon Beach was like being in San Francisco. So,
Nice.
huh?
How was your trip?
If you like fog, yeah. Right.
Well, was it really hot inland? Because you get that in Bird, no?
It was better. We
Good.
escaped that.
Thank you.
So
The bug
we
out.
had our testing, our written test for our applicants. We had, I want to say 125, 150 applicants, of which 60 showed up for a test, which is
That's
what's
normal?
happening across
50%
the nation right now is we're not getting a lot of people interested in being a police officer. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Yeah, recruitment is down everywhere. Not a good time to be a police officer, evidently. But out of that 60, on paper anyway, everyone, it looks like we're very stringent on our requirements compared to most. So they look pretty good on paper. On the 5th, 6th, and 7th of September, we'll turn around and do interviews, and then after that, try to get 3 of the 5 hired as soon as we can. And then the other 2 will probably wait to the end of the year because those are actual 18 hires. So
5.
Well, and
Kill.
that brings up, we had a resignation last week of Steve Todd. After 18 years, he decided to resign employment for a multiple list of reasons, which I can share individually if you need to know, but it just wasn't, it just didn't fit, okay? So he's going on to other things, and we're gonna hire a new person, so.
No, are those just replacements or additional? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
So 2 of them are 17 hires,
Okay.
which we've waited. 2 are 18, and then the 1 replacement.
So 4 new positions.
Yes.
Excellent.
Citizen Academy is in week 3. I believe tomorrow is the jail tour with them. Dewey and Pilot, who's our new canine, are in week 2 out of 3. So a single purpose dog, I think I've talked about that already. But only 1 more week is really a short training in comparison with the dual trained dog, which is 12 weeks. So other than that, Jake Laird Community Day was a huge success. It was a lot of fun, and we had live music and a little bit more than we have in the past, and we had more people there. So Cisco, you were there, but it was a good event. So that's it.
The new dog's a golden retriever.
He is. He's only a year and a half old.
Where's the picture?
It was on Facebook. That's how I know.
It's
What
on
about our,
Facebook.
what about our website? Can they do that in like Diana?
They usually pull it off our Facebook page and put that on there. but
There's a new
we were
employee.
going to, what we're
It's a
going to
fine
do,
looking employee as
as soon
well.
as we figure out dates with Aaron, we're going to put together a day for a retirement party for Gorky, and we'll do a presentation of the new dog at the
Oh,
time.
good.
So,
That would be cool.
probably September-ish.
I like dogs. You didn't figure that out.
Yes, I know you do.
But she's thinking about having maybe cake and ice cream community type celebration of the retirement for the dog. So it might be
We'll
a
get a
bigger,
cake for
it may be a
Gorky.
bigger celebration than when an employee leaves. Who knows?
Yeah.
Is the handler gonna take the dog?
Huh?
Is the handler gonna
Yes.
take the dog?
Yes. Yeah, we tried. He's not working right now. He's not going on patrol right now. He doesn't even have any bottom teeth, I don't think, anymore. He's pretty much fallen out. But the interesting thing about it though is IMPD we're doing like a multi search warrant type deal where they had several different residents they were hitting at the same time, so they needed dogs, so they contacted Song and took him and found some drugs for him. So he still can do it.
Hmm?
Yeah. So good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the way he still has the spirit. He just doesn't have the teeth for the job anymore. That's what he said before.
That's right. But he's enjoying kind of an early retirement right now.
Yeah. Good deal. Public Works.
It's our typical time of year where we just are mostly focused on road maintenance. Also doing some trail maintenance and crack seal. A few construction projects that are underway and wrapping up. Westfield Boulevard extension should be open mid-September. And going well. We had some rain delays and a couple design complications that we've worked through, but other than that, so 151st Street will be back open in a few weeks. Ditch Road extension.
Do
Yes.
you say mid-September is the safe date to say right now?
Our target is September 7th, but we may have a few things concrete related to work through. So mid-September would be a better date to say.
Okay. Was that 90 days?
That was a 60-day closure. We had 10 weather days that they were awarded because all of our rain in early summer, and then it'll go a couple days beyond that. So it'll turn out to be almost a 90-day closure. Ditch Road extension was a 90-day closure at Casey Road. The roundabout itself should be opened up by the end of next week. So Casey Road will be back open to traffic, and then we will finish the rest of Ditch Road and then open the whole thing up about another month after that.
Will you close Casey at that time?
Casey will then close simultaneously.
So Sundown Gardens will have access to 32
Yes,
when Spring Mill closes.
absolutely. Starting by the end of next week, they can come up Casey to get to 32.
And when will Spring Mill close?
It will close, so we're in utility relocations right now, so Duke should be out there working today. As soon as all the utilities are out of the way, it will close. I would say it'll be 2 to 3 weeks from now.
So the whole intersection's down?
It will be, yeah. It's not down right now, still.
And that is 90 days,
That's a 60-day.
but which always means 90 days.
It doesn't always, in this case, it can't mean 90 days because of weather.
What if it rains?
We'll have to figure it out, but
Oh,
asphalt production will stop right toward the end of that period of time. So we are pushed to the edge of our limits as far as closing that and getting it done.
you
this
have a
year.
little asphalt machine, you can keep it right on going.
Yeah, it'll take a little while, but we could probably do that.
Okay.
1 foot at a time. So that covers Spring Mill, and then Monon 7, we'll let that in November. So bids will come in November, and then you'll see some clearing and things, assuming bids come back appropriately. You'll see some clearing and things over the winter time, and heavy construction in the spring should be done by end of next summer. We connected to Sheridan.
Big.
Yep. Oh, 156th, town road from 156th to 166th. Justin, you want to talk about that one? That's Phil's. That's Phil's. So that is it's a project that's been awarded by NDOT, NDOT funded project. It is reconstruction of town road from 156 to 166. There are 3 very narrow culvert crossings in that area, as well as some line of sight distance issues with the terrain. So that is about a year-long project. It is not a closure, not a full closure, but so that'll start soon, and we'll see that project develop over the next 10 or 11 months. That is the road adjacent to the golf course, so it runs on the entire length of the golf course and then some additional footage. That's about all, unless you have some questions.
I have an almost totally unrelated question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Okay.
The popular thing on roads now intermittently is to have a spider web of black tar looking stuff everywhere where there could be a crack. What is that material that they put down the road without getting over my head with it?
It's crack seal.
Crack seal?
It's a tar emulsion based product. We tried to not get to the point where we do the spider web effect anymore. The spider web is really a last stitch band-aid to keep everything together once it's alligator cracked. The manufacturer says if you box it in, it'll hold it together as well as you can until you have time to resurface. So
I was curious. With a motorcycle tire, that's like ice.
sure.
And car tire, you don't notice it, but if you hit that on a roundabout, you'll go like this.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious, is because it looks like tar and it's hot outside, and you think it would be sticky, but it is like hitting oil or ice.
Yeah,
I was just
in the
curious about
summertime it definitely loosens up.
Okay.
Our approach now, and has been for the last few years, is that we try to get back. So we'll resurface the road,
Yeah.
and then we will crack seal either the following year
okay.
or the next year, so that
It's
way.
supposed to be purely preventive, not
Right.
corrective.
Yeah, it's a preventative
And
maintenance.
we're getting there, aren't we?
Just
Dustin?
about.
No, with the Indiana weather, if you don't fill the cracks, you know what'll happen. It'll be, in 1 year, it'll be crumbled, so
Yep.
the freeze and thaw. I was just curious.
I thought you were gonna object to the colors like one lady did in a subdivision, wanted to know if we had other colors we could use.
Oh, okay. No. It's all gray to me. All right, any other business, sir?
No, move to adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all.
Meeting adjourned.